She blinded me with science.
Hello and welcome to the Women in STEM podcast. This podcast was created to raise awareness about women in STEM with the goal of educating and inspiring girls in Tayuta to consider STEM careers. We believe that by sharing the stories of women from their own communities who have succeeded in STEM fields and made a difference, we can encourage more girls to follow in their footsteps. We will use these Women in STEM episodes in our mentorship club so we can inspire even more girls in Siberia schools. My name is Julia Moberg from Petrie Club, and I'm your host today. I'm joined by my fellow co-host, Fatuma, a Form 4 student from GAMI. Today, we are honored to have Dr. Ruth on the podcast. Dr. Ruth is an associate professor of chemistry at Kenyatta University, specializing in analytical environmental chemistry. With over 30 years in academia, her research focuses on trace element analysis, rare earth chemistry, and environmental pollution. She holds a PhD in chemistry from Wuhan University and has received multiple awards for her scientific contribution. She is also a dedicated mentor and advocate for sustainable development through science. Welcome, Dr. Ruth. We're so excited to have you with us today. Please tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, thank you very much. I am Ruth Wanjau, and I am a God-fearing lady, and I am married with 3 children, and I also have 2 other children, that is a son-in-law and a daughter-in-law. And we have also been blessed. I have some grandchildren. Yes, so as you have said, I'm a professor of analytical and environmental chemistry at Kenyatta University in Kenya. And my area of interest is in water analysis, that is under environmental chemistry, still analytical, nutritional analysis. I am also interested in agriculture. I am also interested in climate change issues. And recently, I've also integrated my research with the gender and inclusivity research. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, starting off, first sparked your interest in that field? And when you were young, did you dream about becoming a scientist? Like, what kind of motivated you to follow this path?
Okay, thank you very much. Now, when I was young, I grew up in a village and with my mother most of the times because my father was working away from home. And I was always very close to my mother. And one day, she was burning some papers, and one paper burnt with a blue flame. And my mother had only gone up to class 4, but she told me that that paper had poison. And up to today, unfortunately, she passed on, but I never had an opportunity to ask her what poison it was. But she told me the color of the flame is the one that informed her about the paper and the poison. And that made me think about the flame. And today I know about the flame test. So at least I understand. But that really kept ringing in my mind. And then another phenomenon I observed was that my hands would always sweat. However, anytime tomatoes were in season, my grandfather used to farm tomatoes, and therefore I used to eat a lot of them when they were in season. Anytime they were in season, I also discovered that my hands never used to sweat. Then again, now this made me even more curious. What is it that is making my hands not to sweat when I eat the tomatoes? And those two are my major driving force, or the ones that really ignited my interest in chemistry. Thank you.
I love how it's things you saw in your childhood that's inspired you. It wasn't something that was super extraordinary, but just like daily occurrences. Okay, our next
Mhm.
question is, can you walk us through your journey from high school to where you are now? What were some key steps along the way?
Mhm. Okay, thank you, thank you. Yes, in Kenya, those days we used to have the O levels and the A levels during my time. So I went to for my O levels, that was from 1 up to Form 4. And then after that, I joined A levels, where I did mathematics, chemistry, and biology. Yes, and I am happy. And now, when it comes now to my professional growth, after I finished A levels, I joined Kenyatta University, the university I'm still working for. And I did my first degree in education, and with maths and chemistry as my teaching subjects. Again, I loved chemistry more than mathematics, so I did more units in chemistry than in mathematics. And now that one now again enabled me to join my the same university for my master's program, master in science in analytical in chemistry. Again, I majored in analytical chemistry. My study was on the aluminium, cleaning of aluminium sulfurias, the effect of aluminium in our bodies. And so I won't have time to explain a lot of it, but I like telling us, let us use aluminium sulfurias or cooking pots in the best way possible. Let us not scratch them, like scrub them with the steel wire often, because then we are exposing aluminium, and that aluminium will get into our bodies, and it might affect with our is it our reasoning. It might affect our brain, and we might start forgetting. So we suffer from senile dementia. And then after I finished my master's, I was employed in Kenyatta University as a tutorial fellow. And then God opened a way for me. I joined Wuhan University in China. I got a scholarship. And at Wuhan University, I did my PhD and I graduated. I came back to Kenyatta University and I was now promoted to become a lecturer. Then, from being a lecturer, I continued doing research, supervising students as well as teaching, and I was promoted to a senior lecturer. Then I still continued with the research, writing proposals for grants. And I was promoted to associate professor. I did my O levels. Then from O levels, I went for A levels. Then after that, I joined the university. I did my first degree in B.Ed science, specializing in chemistry and mathematics. And I said that I did more units in chemistry than in mathematics. And now that helped me join my master's program. So I did my master's in chemistry. Again, I specialized in analytical chemistry. We have 5 branches of chemistry, so I will not go down to the others. Then after that, after master's, I was employed in Kenyatta University as a tutorial fellow. And then in the process, I also got a scholarship and I went to China, Wuhan University, where I did my PhD in analytical chemistry. And after graduating, I came back to Kenya and I was now promoted from a tutorial fellow to a lecturer. And then after a few years of teaching and research and supervising students, I was promoted to a senior lecturer. And then after that, I still continued with the research, community work, including mentoring young ladies or young girls. And I was again promoted to associate professor. And currently, I am waiting now to be promoted to a full professor. I have already achieved all that is required. I'm in the process of applying for promotion. Thank you.
Wow, that's a long journey. It's impressive how hard you worked for your goals. I think my favorite part was when you said you're mentoring young girls now, so it's like you're returning the knowledge you've learned from your journey to inspire others.
Mm.
Okay, Fatuma, do you want to ask the next question? Make sure to unmute. Fatuma, can you unmute, please?
She is still muted.
Yes. Fatuma, are you able to unmute? Fatuma, can you unmute, please?
And she is talking, but we can't hear.
Yes.
Fatuma, you're on mute.
Julie,
Unmute yourself.
I'm going to call her teacher and get his.
Okay.
Fatuma, hiyo place ya red ya ku-unmute. Unatusikia? Nod your head.
McDonald's going to help her. We can clip this part out, but she's just give her a minute. McDonald's going to help.
Okay.
The question is kwa chat.
Okay, Fatuma, are you ready to ask your question now? Fatuma, can you ask question 4, please?
Yeah. Hutaki kunania kusonga. What does a typical day look like in your role as a chemist? Or what do you find most exciting about your work?
Okay, thank you very much, Fatuma. My day starts between 3 and 4 a.m. So I wake up between 3 and 4 a.m. I start with the devotion. I love God, so I read the Bible and I pray. And then after that, I start reading. And mostly I read proposals in chemistry or theses written in chemistry that I'm examining or correcting for my students. And then around 7, before 7, around 6, I prepare now to start my work. Our timetable runs from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., but not every day. So I usually have a 7 a.m. class only once a week. And so I go to class. So whether it is at 7 or 8 or 10, so I go to class. And then after class, I go for lab sessions. And lab sessions is with undergraduate students or postgraduate students. With undergraduate students, we go to help them handle or use the apparatus and instruments that may be required of them. And with the postgraduate students, I just go to find out their progress and how they are doing. And then after that, I just retire and I go for walks also in the evening and just meetings and social life. I also have my social life, which I like because chemistry is not boring. It also has a lot of social life there. Yes, so thank you. Now, you also asked what I find most interesting. The most
Yes.
interesting and exciting thing that I really like is when I see my students graduate. And for them to graduate, they have to write a laboratory report. They have to do examinations. And for postgraduate students, they have to write their thesis, defend their thesis, and then they graduate. So I really like that, and I am happy. I don't miss graduation days in our university because that is the day I really, feel so good that the students I've worked with are now ready to start making a difference in the world. Thank you.
Okay, that is good. And what were some of the biggest challenges you faced in building your career?
Okay, my biggest challenges are one, finances. I was brought up in the village, and it wasn't life wasn't that good. So challenges with finances were there, and I remember one time our university we went on strike when I was an undergraduate, and in the process, I we were told that we need to bring some money to cater for the losses that had been incurred in the university, the damages. And I remember my father didn't have money. My mother had already died, and the relatives also, I don't know whether they had money or not, but they didn't have money. And I went looking for money, but I thank God. One friend, a couple, they called me on the very last day and they gave me the money and I came to school and I registered. So those are some of the challenges. Other challenges is when I went to do my PhD and I had left our children behind with my husband. It was not easy being away from them, but all the same, we kept writing. By then, there were no mobile phones, so I only used to write letters, and sometimes I would write emails to my husband, but now to the children, I had now to wait until now they respond to my letters. So those were some of the challenges. Again, also when you are carrying out experiments, sometimes the instruments break down and you have to wait. I remember when I was doing my master's, one of the instruments broke down and I had to go to University of Nairobi to do my work there. Again, I got a lot of support from my mentor and my friend, a lecturer known as Professor Jane Murungi, and so she assisted me. So those are some of the challenges, and I thank God that he always came through. Thank you.
And how did you juggle personal responsibility with your career while working towards your career goals?
Now, there is something known as work-life balance. Yes, work-life balance involves knowing all your responsibilities, prioritizing them, what comes first, and then uh, looking at all those responsibilities. And after prioritizing, you are able to see what should I do, what must be done, because in life we have the must do's and those that can wait. And for children, that was a must do because you have to walk with them and be with them. Otherwise, that is how life is, and that is still what I'm doing up to today. I may say that I don't have young children, but there are other responsibilities. So it is just a question of balancing. We are talking of work-life balance and also having a priority list. Put down the things that you need to do, and then check which should come before who. And with that, then one is able to move on and be a happy person. Thank you.
I love your advice, and I think it is always important for everyone to remember there's a work-life balance and that you can have both. You just have to think about your must-dos. Our next question is, what kept you going during the tough times in your journey, and how did you keep your growth mindset? And was there a source of support or inspiration that helped you?
Yes. Now, having mentors are important people in one's life. Like I said, I have one mentor by name Professor Jane Murungi, and she has worked with me. She is retiring this June, and we are still friends. So I had that mentor. I also had colleagues that you share with, you have families, and also even other spiritual leaders. When you need prayers, you can ask them, please pray with me and walk with me. And with that one, you are able to move on. Thank you.
Prof, you have
Yes.
had such you have had a such interesting career path and traveled to so many parts of the world in your journey.
Yes.
What were
Yes.
some of your key learnings from this rich experience?
Mm-hmm. Wow, thank you, thank you. My last journey was last week. I had traveled to Rwanda for a conference. So, as you say, I have traveled to very many countries. And every time I go to those other countries, what now incites me most and what now, it raises my interest and my joy and my desire is to see women in high positions, presenting their research, giving their stories of how they have made it, and also talking about their career, and also even talking about their families. Because we are saying, as much as we are ladies and we want to aspire and do chemistry, there is also life after that. We have the social life. So all those have really been inciting and very, 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 very motivating when I see women giving their stories, and presenting the results of their research findings, telling stories of how they wrote their proposals, how they got the grants, how they went through everything. So it feels good. But also, even other men, we also learn from men. And therefore, those conferences, they are not only for women, but we also learn from them and we aspire to grow together. Thank you.
I love hearing about the community you have and how everyone can learn from each other. And for our last question, what advice would you give someone just starting out in your field, and what recommendations do you have for high school students?
Okay, now for high school students, today we are not asking them, what would you want to be? Instead, we are asking them, look around your community, look around your environment. What problems do you see? How can you solve those problems? And then you come back and see, how can chemistry come in to help, give solutions to those challenges that people are facing? And I keep telling my students that chemistry has a solution to all problems facing mankind. And I keep challenging them. You see the problem of flooding? Where does chemistry come in? And I ask them, water belongs to chemistry. That is our chemistry, H2O. It is us who should come up with the ways to help the community to know how to harvest that water and how to contain it so that it doesn't destroy the environment and also their hard-earned property. And yes, thank you. So I ask them, look, what challenges are there and what solutions do you have for those challenges? And with that one, then they will become more and more innovative because that is what we want them to do. Again, we want also to, in addition to that, we also want them to develop entrepreneurial skills because as you solve the problem, you will not go empty-handed or you will not go hungry. You will get people paying you because you are solving their problems and you become a happy person. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I know that inspired me, and I'm sure it will inspire many others. And thank you so much for your time today.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you. Yes. You are a blessed lady because of this support you have, the mentorship, and I want to believe that you will go far. But remember, there are those your other sisters, your classmates, your colleagues. Please ensure that you support each other, you encourage each other. If one knows something, let them not hide from the others. So work as a team and you'll never regret. We are saying in life there is enough space for all of us. as ladies. So work together, encourage each other, and you'll be a happy person. Thank you.
Okay.
Blinded me with science.